Welcome back, everyone. Jade Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Oh man, it's a very interesting evening because we're coming up on something that I didn't even know was around anymore. Like, I used to watch this stuff on cable back when I was a kid, when I was a wee little bone, and I didn't even realize that Shark Week was still a thing. But how appropriate, because we got the mask here, good old Shark Boy mask, and we're not going to hesitate. We're not going to wait any longer. We are going to bring in the gentleman that made this, that gifted the mask to me and started his journey in the whole toys and collectibles thing. We're going to be talking to Greg from SLOWPOKE Toys and Collectibles. Here he is. Good evening.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. So we got Shark Week. We got the old Shark Boy mask.
You would never know it's Shark Week after watching AEW at all. Like, it's no product placement at all, ever.
No, it's you can tell that the relationship with Discover TV and everything is we'll just call it healthy.
Now, what was more blatant, this or WCW with the Slim Jim rings?
Oh, I'm gonna say this. Because there was stuff. I mean, they did more Shark Week stuff than advertising their pay-per-view this weekend.
It was the curtains. It was the monitors. It was the commercials during the show. It was the commercials without the show. Everywhere. Shark Week.
And the funniest part...
And no Shark Boy.
Yeah, no Shark Boy. But the funniest part of this whole advertising during AEW is the biggest star in Hollywood that is that's like the MC of the whole thing for Shark Week is The Rock.
Maybe that's why they're so heavy with AEW this time. I didn't even think of it that way, but yeah, he is hosting it this week.
It's absolutely crazy. First he takes the NFL from Vinnie Mac, and now he's jumping ship and advertising Shark Week on AEW television. And what is next?
Hey, he was on Impact for Ken Shamrock. He might be coming back for another.
Part of the was it the Hall of Fame induction?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
He did a little speech.
What a heel. What a heel. So, welcome, Greg. Like I said, this journey started between a year to 2 years ago when you so lovingly gifted this mask and the suicide mask to Trent, and that was a great introduction to what you were getting into. But then we didn't hear from you. I mean, you were always very supportive of the shows and everything, but we didn't hear anything as far as like product placement, where your SLOWPOKE Toys was going. Yep. And now you're able to catch us up on everything. So let us know what's happening.
It's becoming official. So to start it off, early days of COVID, even before COVID, I was planning this, but early days of COVID, I was looking for manufacturers to create specialty wrestling items, things that you don't just get at WWEshop.com. AEW wasn't even a thing at the time, or if it was so new, we didn't realize it. And part of me was like, oh, let me recreate the masks of masked characters that aren't owned by someone else.
Right.
So I started that process. I had the designs made. I had Shark Boy made. I had Suicide made. And when I was trying to get these mass produced, it was just failing. Wasn't happening. It would either take too long to manufacture or to make the cost so low where people could actually afford it and I make a profit. It would have been, I think it was like $80 a mask at the manufacturers. Yeah. And I was talking to manufacturers. One was in Australia. I think yours was in One was in Mexico. That might have been the suicide mask. I think yours was in Japan. I think. But yeah, I traveled around. I tried finding good manufacturers, and it just wasn't happening. So, same concept, just pivoted. I looked at smaller items, still different items, and that's where I'm coming out in StarCast. We're making our grand reveal in person for the first time with our hard enameled pins and our stickers. So with these, we have seven different designs for the hard enamel pins. Then we also have the sticker sheets that we're selling, as well as the 4-inch stickers that you put on your car. I sent you a package. I don't know which ones you have currently, but if you have some gimmicks, I can show those out for you.
So I'm going to share them right now. And in fact, while you were talking, I'm like, ooh, I need to get these out. These are great. I love these. I know, like, you know, people from my crew are like, hey, J-Bone, you need to share. And I'm not good at sharing. So I'm going to load up my car with these. I'm going to stick these on the people that I don't like, you know, like just like Eddie Kingston did to the Painmaker, like we just saw on AEW television. This is a great one right here. Speaking of hardcore, you absolutely went hardcore on this. This is one of the best items we got here. So this is so the grand scheme of things is Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles, but when you get into the individual little things here, this is the Indie Wrestling Collectibles, right?
Yep. So Indie Wrestling Collectibles is a brand under the Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles world.
Right.
This Indie Wrestling Collectibles is focusing on the indie wrestling thing, either helping with promotions or helping individual wrestlers. If an individual wrestler wants to up their merchandise game, no longer just selling t-shirts and 8x10s, they can talk to me. I will assist them in making pins, magnets, stickers, keychains, air fresheners, posters. Instead of an 8x10, get a big old poster. Get it professionally done.
Yeah. You line up some of these items on like a merch table, and instead of like just
so much better.
Yeah, yeah, it's you got because t-shirts and nothing. It is nothing against t-shirts and 8x10s.
There's only so many shirts a person can own.
They take and they take up a lot of space on a merch table. But when you start lining up these, by the way, I got to say how you put these on here. Okay, so for those, you know, listening audio, it's like, well, what the hell is he holding up? I got to start describing what I'm holding here. We got a barbed wire baseball bat, and I love that the barbed wire around here is like shiny. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. And we also got here, we got a busted table here. And then we got some just some general love for wrestling pins. We got support your local independent wrestling. And I love that they're all like, you know, double backed here.
All of them are double backed. There's not one that's single backed.
And then this one right here is a little more fancy, but not too fancy for the wrestling fan. It says, I love indie wrestling. And they're all placed on these nice cards, so you can certainly open them and wear them. Or some people just love collecting these and hanging these.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm very big on is packaging. I want the packaging to look good. I want it when it's on an individual's merch table for it to actually look professional, not just something that came out of their luggage bag next to their trunks.
Right.
So, and also, just so you know, I have a couple right here. It's that same I love indie wrestling, except this is a 4-inch sticker that you could put on the back of your car. You'll see you got one too.
Yep, we got that one. We got a bigger version of the support your local independent wrestling. And
there's also the broken ladder.
Oh, I did not get the broken ladder. That looks awesome.
You did not.
By the way,
broken kendo stick.
All the links for Slowpoke Toys the website, all the social medias down in the description of the video. Give the man a follow. Go check out the website and go get your.
The wife will very much appreciate if you give us a like, share, and subscribe, or not subscribe, or whatever the social media equivalent of subscribing is.
There you go. There you go. A follow. So, and here's
that's the word.
The sticker for the for the IWC there, and then so you got the pins and the big stickers, but then you've also. I love these. You've got the smaller versions, the sheets of the
sticker sheets. Yep. So every one of those packs, you get 3 sheets in a pack, 24 stickers in one pack.
That's decent.
Yep. And just so you know, that retails at $3.50. So we're keeping the prices low. We're keeping them where it is approachable, and it's similar to what you would get at retail. Each pin, $10. The large stickers, $5.
You're not paying
$3.50.
You're not paying $20-$30 for a little pin. Nope. It's
and if they're charging you that, they're marking it up.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, they want to make a profit, but yeah, it's like, oh, come on. So that's great that you're keeping the prices, competitive.
The goal is to keep the quality high and the price low.
Yeah. So. Oh, go ahead.
And with the proceeds from this, I'm going to local independent shows where I'm vendoring, giving money to the talent. I will be there on location at a promotion. Maybe me being there, that promoter will put on another event because of the influx of money that I'm giving him. Maybe that another wrestler sees the merchandise that I have on the table. He sits there and says, hey, let me up my game. Come to me, and we can figure out different designs and things like that for him to have to up his game. And then the goal is to make the indie scene more professional, better, more equal to the larger companies. Because at the end of the day, these independent wrestlers, they're on their own. They might not know what merchandising is.
Yeah, it's all a learning thing, You get out there, you're learning your craft, and then what are you going to do to help promote yourself? Well, this is a great way to do it. Absolutely. Why don't you tell the folks, my smashers out there, where you're going to be on the road?
So we're making our in-person debut at StarCast. The weekend after that, we will be at the ECW Arena at Icons of Wrestling. Then a month after that, we will be at Top Rope WrestleCade down in Tampa. This is the first place we're announcing that one. We haven't even put the social medias out for that one yet. And then in December, we are booked to be at WrestleCade. So we are getting around. We are making the rounds, and we are booking up events in between those as well.
That WrestleCade, that's a big one.
Yep, WrestleCade and StarCast are 2 very, very large events.
Yeah.
And a lot of the same names that are at those 2 we're going to be at as well.
Yeah. So how did you get hooked up? So like the first big event, like you said, is going to be is StarCast, and that's on that's next weekend.
That's next weekend. Yep.
Right.
Down in Nashville.
And that's tied to the whole Ric Flair event. And we're gonna cover a little bit of news later after Greg's with us right now. And then we'll get into the AEW stuff later from tonight. But so how did you did they have a social media thing where they had people like reaching out to them to be involved in it? How did you become
not social media, but they do? Conrad Thompson, very professional, knows his stuff. He does have people set up where there's a application process and everything that to make sure that you are suited to be at their event. They have to accept you. They won't just take anyone in. You will not find Etsy stores at these shows or anything like that. Everyone that's there is there for a reason. But I was actually met up with Conrad up in your neck of the woods in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Nice.
So I met up with Conrad doing the ACW WrestleCon, which was Dylan Postel's show, also known as Hornswoggle. I was up there with Eric Bischoff and Conrad during their 83-week show. I approached them. I was talking to them. We spent the weekend. We're all up there that whole weekend. And then I mentioned, like, I have this company. I want to be in. The next day, I had everything I needed to get signed up. He took care of me.
Tremendous.
So good old Dylan Postel in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Good old Hornswoggle, a Wisconsin
Exactly.
mainstay. That's cool. That's cool, man. I've got a brief little story of how I met Hornswoggle, and it was literally his tryout day before he became Hornswoggle. We were in
was he Little Bastard yet?
No, this is all pre his TV debut. It was the night when I want to say it was the night when the Great Khali debuted on SmackDown up in Green Bay or something like that. If it was
Green Bay, that would make sense why he would be there.
Right. But I'd never heard of Dylan before because I wasn't all about the indie scene. It was just whatever I saw on TV and nothing else mattered, or it was just my ignorance, you just don't know. But me and this other guy were walking around the arena lobby before I even had tickets. We're just walking around the lobby as they're setting up merch and everything. And Dylan's, man, he's just bright-eyed and just walking around. Hi, I'm Dylan. and this guy I was hanging with, I don't remember what his name was, but he was like, he looks familiar. Why don't you ask him where he's from or whatever? It's like, oh, okay. So we walked up to him. We're like, hey, are you? Because like a week before, the news had come out, unfortunately, that all the juniors, I don't know if you remember the juniors that were in, it was like the I don't know what the proper name, the midgets.
You're showing your age, J-Bone.
I am. I'm an old fart, and I know sometimes I say stuff that's, no, you're not supposed to say that one word. It's not PC. Well, okay, I don't know any other words. The little people.
Oh, he calls it himself.
Okay.
Yes.
So all of them were just let go, but I wasn't going to be a dick and be like, oh, well, good luck, But he's like, yeah, I'm trying out tonight for, oh, what the hell? What was the guy he was with?
Finley.
Yeah. He said, I'm trying out for Finley or something. And I had no clue what. I was like, okay, I had no understanding. That didn't make sense to me, but I wasn't going to question it. 2 weeks later, he makes his debut on TV. I was like, I met that guy. Crazy.
Funny thing, I actually know there's backstory to his first time during his tryout, and he actually got in a lot of trouble, and he didn't think he was going to get hired because, who was it? I want to say Mark Henry got pissed off at him. Oh, no, not Mark Henry, Viscera. He was taking photos. He was taking photos backstage with people. He was just not following any of the rules. So he was like positive he wasn't going to get hired. And yeah, Visceral got really pissed off at him and told him off a couple of times. So that's hilarious. Random first day story for Dylan. And I'm a Twitcher. If you're a Twitcher, follow Dylan. He's hilarious.
Well, if only Trent knew that story beforehand, maybe things would be very different for him right now. Love you, Trent.
Viscera is a special character back in the day.
Right. Oh yeah, love Viscera. Crazy. So where did your ideas come from to start the Slowpoke Toys?
So for me, I love the only major promotion I watch regularly is Impact.
Okay.
I like independent wrestling. I enjoy independent wrestling. Every time I go to a show, it's glaring that some people know what's going on, other people don't. Some wrestlers, they like a Matt Cardona, has everything under the sun at his table. The table next to him will sit there and say, $20, take a picture with me. It's like, I want everyone to be at that Matt Cardona level. And that's where I started to notice the difference between the people that understand the marketing and the people that don't. But where I got the designs and everything in mind was I was trying to think of generic things that when you look at, you instantly think independent wrestling. Now, granted, AEW, we now see the barbed wire baseball bats, but before that, that was an indie show thing. You wouldn't see that regularly on TV.
Right.
Broken tables. Before ECW, it was mostly an indie thing. Broken ladders. Never on TV until recently, because it was an indie thing, the hardcore thing, the things that were too bad to put on television at the time. So that's where my brain went, and that's where I came up with those initial designs. I have a whole slew of designs for Series 2, and then I also have other products that are going to be coming out, which I don't want to announce yet, but you will be one of the first people to know once I have them produced.
Tremendous.
So it's not just going to end with these types of items. There's going to be, think nostalgia, 70s, 80s toys that I want to make a comeback with indie wrestling. Don't think action figures, because that's where there's a lot of companies out there right now making these retro figures, but think of all the stuff that goes around the action figure. Those are the type of things that I'm planning on doing with the indie wrestling collectibles line.
Sounds good. So, like accessories, kind of stuff.
Accessories, even just backgrounds and stages and sets.
Oh, nice.
Thinking comic books. Thinking little vending machine toys. There's a lot out there, and you'll be the first to know.
Tremendous, dude. It's an absolute honor to be like one of the first people that kind of knew that this was coming.
You're one of the first that have it in hand.
Yeah, it's an absolute honor and pleasure, and I love showing these off. And I wanna like open them up and put them like around, but I'm gonna be moving soon, so I'm not gonna crack them open yet.
It gives you time to build the pin board.
Yes,
you got to get them all Pokemon style.
This is true. But Wave 1, would we calling this Wave 1? Is that what we're calling this?
Series 1. We can go with Wave. Up to you. I'll do Wave just for you.
It's Shark Week. We got to call it
Shark Week. I'll stick with Wave.
Oh, shell, yeah. So Wave 1 is great, and it's tremendous that you're hitting the road this summer, and because things are slowly getting back to normal out there, and that you're getting your brand out there, and dude, best of luck to you, dude, and
thank you.
And thank you again for being such a big supporter of our brands. And
original TNI Twitch stream review show follower.
There you go. The Twitch is still alive. We may not be, the numbers may not be, insanely high, but it's still there. It's still there.
I was around when it was just you and Trent on the show. Kyle at that point bailed. Kyle bailed.
Kyle was busy.
Kyle was doing his Rohit Raju film specials. That happened once. I was there for that. I actually enjoyed that.
The one time. Oh my God.
I loved it. And I follow Hakeem Zayn now because of that.
Yeah, we still call him a friend of the show.
Yep.
He's great. Best of luck to him.
Yeah, so he's doing dark again, I think.
Is he?
I believe so. Jake something just did dark.
And lost to Danhausen of all people.
Yeah. With the most lethal move in all of wrestling.
The curse?
No, the small package.
Oh, dear God. Oh, Jake. Well, you gotta get your name out there somehow, I guess. That's what you gotta
especially
do.
when your name's Jake something.
Yes. Something. So, speaking of getting your name out there, why don't you tell these folks where you're going to be again this summer?
Yep. We're going to be at StarCast. We're going to be at Icons of Wrestling. We're going to be at the Top Rope WrestleCon. We're going to be at WrestleCade. There's going to be more to come. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Slowpoke Toys. And you could also just go on the Slowpoke Toys website. You'll see all of our products there. They are available for sale online. And if you order, you'll get a package with good stuff in it. Good times.
There you go. And all those links are in the description of this video. No excuse like, oh, well, I'm watching now. I'll go look later. No, they're in the description of the video. You can open up another tab on your social media device and go there.
I noticed
and give
Mark
them a follow
Mark just messaged in. Is he in good position right now, or is he in a bad position right now?
Mark's okay. He's just not around.
He's
much.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not on the bad list.
No, we love Mark. He's not banned for nefarious reasons or something. No, he's a family guy. He's always busy with his family. So that's why he's on about as much as Kyle, unfortunately. So no, that's right. Yeah, it says Jade didn't fire me. Yeah, like I fired Trent. Wink, wink. So all right, well, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much, Greg, aka Slowpoke of Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles and Indie Wrestling Collectibles. Make sure you go catch him later this summer as he's on the road and making his debut in a couple weekends from now at StarCast. If you're going to StarCast, go tell him hello. Tell him
if you're at StarCast, come on by. We'll be there. And by we, I mean me.
Tell him J-Bone sent you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for coming by, man. Best of luck to you. Much love, bro.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. That is Greg of Slowpoke Toys and Collectibles. That was like the one thing. I mean, I was excited for AEW tonight, with the barbed wire everywhere and all that stuff tonight. Don't get me wrong, but I was very excited to get Slowpoke on here and talk about all these nifty little gems. Damn, this light is reflecting. The stickers, the big stickers, and then we'll call this the cornucopia. Of course, Oreo's going cuckoo back here. The cornucopia of all the cool little pins. You can check it out. $10 a piece. Not a bad deal, folks. Go hit up Slowpoke Toys and go get you some. God, my office is a mess. Took everything off camera here. It's just horrible. All right. So thank you, Greg, for stopping by. And if you see him on the road, tell him hello. All right. Courtney says she followed on Twitter. Tremendous. No, Mark has not been banned. I did not fire him. So yeah, that was Slowpoke. All right. Now we're going to talk a little bit of news. I don't have the tab open, and I don't have so I don't have the full card for the Ric Flair's last dance, last match, if you will, whatever you want to call it. But we now know finally who Ric Flair is facing in his last match. And it was, it was nothing that was going to be like making, I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure some fans are like just drop dead, ecstatic, excited, whatever. Everyone's different. Wrestling is subjective, Some people are going to be super stoked. Some people are going to be like, what else is on the card? And that's when I think a lot of fans are going to be super excited. See, Oreo's just going cuckoo behind me here. She's so excited for that weekend. So it's going to be Ric Flair and his son-in-law, Andrade El Idolo, versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. But now, why they didn't announce this back when they did the press conference, I don't know. But they made like the documentary, and then they had the footage that they released, in the different documentary things, segments, whatever. Bell's Boy here says, breaking news, J-Bone. Gresham, Nick Wayne, that's the guy who's been coming up in the industry, versus, so Gresham versus Nick Wayne versus Allin Angels versus Takeshita, added to Ric Flair's last match. Yeah, this whole card is insanely, it's just loaded. It's absolutely loaded. You know what? Let me look this up. I start typing in star, and the first thing that comes up is like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, wait a minute. No, not Star Wars. Star Cast. Star Cast. And it's everything star. Oh, God. No, not clicking on that. Let's try. That was, I don't know what the hell that was popping up there. That's naughty. All right. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. Was that Car Shield? And oh my God, what is that? Ice-T is in a commercial with Ric Flair? Oh, that's just. That's crazy. All right, where is. I love this meme that's popping up here. F you, Jarrett. No one attacks the Nature Boy and gets away with it. Where the hell? All right, we'll just go to the web. Okay, here's the thing for the website. Meet and greets, pay-per-view. Here we go. Is this? No, that's not it either. My God, there's a ton of stuff going on that weekend. Okay, here's a partial card. This isn't everything. But this is off of Fight TV, so they got some stuff here. Okay. Impact World title match. Josh Alexander defending against Jacob Fatu. That right there. Shut up and take my money. That I'm going to call that a dream match. Okay? You got MLW versus Impact Wrestling right there. You got the Briscoes versus the Von Erichs. Another dream match. Family versus family. Can't wait. 4-way match. Laredo Kid versus Taurus versus Ray Phoenix versus Bandito. Heard about Bandito in some other news today. Not sure if I should talk about that or not. But anyways, we'll continue here. Impact Knockouts title match. Okay, so when last time I talked about this, I wasn't sure if this was an Impact Knockouts title match. It is. Jordan Grace defending against Deonna Purrazzo and Rachel Ellering. Harry Smith versus Killer Cross. Wow. Renderita versus Clark Connors. We got some New Japan blood on here. Motor City Machine Guns versus the Wolves. Been a while since we've had that match before, eh? And I know there's others on here, and I can't think of trying to see if I can quick find another update on here. Okay, so there's the that was an hour ago. Okay, so Jonathan Gresham, Nick Wayne, Alan Angels, and Takashita. Okay. What? Behave. She's very excited. All right, all these appearances. Okay. Well, Black Label Pro is also going to be there. New Japan is going to be there. Okay. Okay. Let's see if there's anything on here that I'm missing. Okay, here we go. Kerry and Ricky Morton versus Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson. Okay. All right. And that's about the only other one I think that I was missing from earlier. Oh, and there's going to be a bunkhouse battle royal participants still to be announced. Okay. So that's going to be a whole slew of characters in there. Oreo. Oh my God. Is she excited for this? So, I'm very excited for Ric Flair's last match. I mean, the whole card is stacked. Like, even if you're not excited for the main event, shoot, what is it? $30, $35? That's a hell of a card. That's almost as good as any Impact pay-per-view that they've put on recently. It's crazy. Mark's not interested in the New Japan. Well, okay, so here's the thing. It's a chance to get some of their up and comers a spotlight. That's why. So I know you're probably like, Clark, who's Clark Connors? He's been getting his name out there. So Anna's in here. Hakeem Fullerton. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Hakeem Fullerton. I was so busy today. I haven't been on Facebook, but I did see the email. Happy birthday, Hakeem, from the one and the only J-Bone, man. Hope your day was good. Courtney, I hope your vacation was good. I don't know if anyone else is doing anything special. And that was about it. I don't know if we should talk. Okay, so I heard this. I don't usually do this, but this is pretty exciting. And I don't even know what the source was for this. So, okay, so I'm going to start out by saying, hey, take this with a grain of salt. You heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy who heard it from a guy. It's kind of one of those things. But I heard there's a couple of luchadors on their way. Are you that excited about it? Oreo apparently is ecstatic about this news. I was telling her about it earlier, and she got the zoomies. She started flying around the room. So there's a couple of luchadors on their way to Impact Wrestling. And apparently they are going to make their debut in Chicago at Emergence or during that taping. Either Emergence or like the day after for the set of tapings. The Second City Slam, whatever that next day is called. So here's what I hear. And if it doesn't come to fruition, you didn't hear it from me. But this is pretty cool. Ray, or the guy's name. Yeah, Ray Horus and former Ring of Honor champ Bandito are going to be making their Impact debut. That's pretty big. Now, I see that here's the thing is I couldn't even find an article on any of this stuff. I don't know where this guy got this stuff from. This Lewis Carlin guy. I don't know what his sources are. He's got a pretty good page. I gotta give him a lot of credit. Since he started his own thing and left the lounge, sounds like some other people I know. He's been really coming into his own. He's got a good amount of subs on YouTube, and he's doing like the daily news bits on Impact and MLW and other indie things. So, hey, good for him. But so that's what the source is. But like I said, I don't know where he got it from. So take it with a grain of salt. His name's been out there. I would love to see, especially Bandito, but Horus is he was big on Lucha Underground. One of the many luchadors on that show. So yeah, we'll see what happens that weekend. I'm going to be there. I know Anna's going to be there. And a bunch of other people are going to be there. Bill's going to be there. Justin's going to be there. Bison is going to be there. I heard he started swimming after the show today. So wish him well. I'm sure he's going to be doing the backstroke here and there and checking his socials and, keeping people updated as far as how the swim is going from the UK to the US. Crazy bastard. Crazy. News. Gosh, I haven't been on social media much at all. What? Shush. Crazy ass cat. I know there's other news out there. I just can't think of stuff off the top of my head. But anyways, what? And here she is, Goofy Kitty. So yeah, we'll cut that off there for the news. If I think of something later, I'll clue you in on it. But off the top of my head, I can't think of nothing. Let's talk about yes, Oreo is irritating the F out of Jade. No, we love our Oreo. She's just sometimes she wants attention at all the wrong times. And now she's checking out stuff that I have boxed up. So crazy. All right. So I heard they opened up some more seats for the Chicago tapings. So make sure if you're in the area, get your tickets. Man, I hope they sell the hell out of that place. I've never been there, but I've seen it for like MLW shows. It was like right before the panini started, the pandemic started. But yeah, it looks like a massive gymnasium is what it looks like. They call it a little arena, so nonetheless, can't wait. All right, let's talk about this AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest Night 2, Part 1. I guess Part 2 is going to be on Rampage. But yeah, Season 4, Episode 29, Fighter Fest. Starts out hot here. We got Darby Allin versus Brody King, a grudge match of sorts. Pretty excited for this. Darby Allin's really been, I don't know. In a word, I'll just say struggling. We're just going to ignore that. Behave yourself. All right. Darby's been struggling. And somebody's getting the zoomies again. So look, and it's been all about Malachi Black. And, the rest of the crew hasn't been featured much. Well, how can you not feature a guy like Brody King? The guy's massive. He's a monster, brawler. He's quite the spectacle. Maybe not your A-plus star, like in-ring talent, but he does some crazy daredevil stuff, just like Darby Allin, except he's, got about 200 pounds more than Darby Allin. So Brody King beats him here with, what is this called? The Gonzo Bomb? I'm not super familiar with Brody King's stuff, but I've been waiting for him to be featured more because I'm curious. Like, okay, you got these badass guys, what do they all do, So, okay. So the lights go out. As Sting is coming down to the ring because they're still just beating up Darby Allin. They just pummeled him. I mean, this really wasn't a match. This was just a pummeling. It wasn't a squash match either. It was like a good 10 minutes of just straight pummeling. They throw him out of the ring and throw him into the wall. They toss him back in the ring and do some horrific move on him. I mean, how Darby Allin is going to be able to walk after this, I don't know. But Sting comes down because they just won't leave Darby alone. Sting comes down, lights go out. Malachi Black is looking at him, and then they attack Sting, choking him out. And then Miro shows up. Little awkward, not going to lie. Little awkward. I mean, the music, it's like the heavens opened up, So it's like kind of like good versus evil in a sense. You got the death metal versus the, choir of angels coming down to the ring. So apparently now we're going to be building up this Malachi Black versus Miro. Looking forward to it. Miro recently came back. He needs something to do. So let's give him something to do. Tony Schiavone backstage with Cole Karter. Now, they make the joke that last time they saw him, he was with the Fishes, and that's what rung a bell. I'm like, wait a minute, is this the same guy that just got let go from WWE? He was in NXT. He literally just made his debut, and they let him go because of a failed drug test or something like that. But I tell you what, I mean, skip ahead to later. I don't want to say too much. We'll talk more about it later. But Cole Karter, just first looking at him, damn, the great looking kid. All right, hang on a second. We're gonna get Oreo out of here. Yes, because you are driving me cuckoo. I love you, but you're out of here. All right. You're out of here. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Yeah. Troy, 2 dimes from NXT. Speaking of 2 dimes, if you want to tip one of your favorite podcasts, you certainly can on Twitch by cheering bits and subbing. Or you can on YouTube by doing a super chat or super stickers. But if you do anything tonight, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Check out all the links in the description of the video as well. All right, so Cole Karter there, he is answering the Ricky Starks open challenge for the FTW title defense later. So we'll get to that in a bit. Best friends, Sexy Chucky T and Trent versus Yuta and Mox. I got to tell you, I was not very vested in this match. Yeah, because it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, you know who's going to win this one. Poor Trent and Chuck. You know, they got these looks on their faces like, hey, I'm getting a paycheck, you know? Yuta and Mox make short work of them. Your champ, your AEW champ, and your Ring of Honor. Is it Pure Wrestling champ? Something, whatever it is. He is. It's not the TV title. That's Samoa Joe. Tony Schiavone in the ring then for the celebration for the new AEW Tag Team Champions. So you got Swerve and Keith Lee out there. They're thanking the crowd and everything. Mark, yes. Total nonstop motherfucking cats. That's right. That's right. Then, of course, you know, it's like the big question: who's gonna interfere in this? Who's gonna butt their way into the celebration? Well, of course, it's Mark Sterling, and he just needs a few more signatures on this clipboard because he wants Swerve off the roster. Why? I don't know. It's goofy. Mark Sterling's funny though. So he goes up to this rapper that's at ringside. He's like, come on, sign it. You got to sign this. And the rapper's like, no, I don't think so. And ends up punching out Tony Nese. Was pretty funny. So then Swerve gets out of the ring, grabs the celebratory cake. This cake looks great, though. And well, let's just say that the cake ended up covering most of Mark Sterling. Covered in cake. He is smothered. Sterling is smothered. Next, we got a match here We got Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes, Griff, Garrison, and Brian Pillman Jr. Christian Cage and Lucha. Actually, I will say this: Luchasaurus makes short work of them, and then Christian Cage demands the tag, gets the pin, gets the win. Then Jungle Boy's music hits, and the place erupts. So Luchasaurus. So this was going to be very interesting. Jungle Boy has a chair, weapon in hand, and Luchasaurus is out on the floor in front of the ring with Christian behind him in the ring. So they're face to face, and everyone's wondering, all right, are these two going to come to blows? What's going to happen? Well, Luchasaurus steps aside and gets out of the way for Jungle Boy to hit the ring with the steel chair and go after Christian Cage. Was not expecting this. So it's just the whole, I don't know, some of these stories, it feels like they're decent stories, but then something happens in the story and it's kind of a head scratcher. Because I really thought we were going to see like Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy, and then leading to a Jungle Boy versus Christian. I know I can't be the only one that was expecting this. But Jungle Boy is back. Literally chased Christian Cage out of the arena. Took off after him, through the crowd, up the stairs of the arena, down the hallway. So we're probably going to get a match with them sooner rather than later. But now the man in the middle here, Luchasaurus, what's to become of him? Is he going to stand at the side of Jungle Boy again? Or is he going to turn on him? I don't know. What do you guys, I don't know. It's kind of confusing. We had some confusing things happen tonight. But great to see Jungle Boy back nonetheless. We got the FTW title open challenge. Cole Karter out there facing the champ, Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, man, just out there just looking like he owns the place. Cole Karter, first up, because I never saw him in NXT because I haven't watched NXT since God knows when. But I heard about him. Cole Karter, first opinion, looking at this kid come down to the ring. to Love Impact. Who booked this shit? Exactly. Bell's boy completely switching it up here. He says, I think Jungle Boy turns on Luchasaurus and joins Cage. You're goofy, Bell's boy. You're goofy. It's the cocaine. It's the cocaine. Cole Karter looks like a star. Absolutely looks like a star. He looks like the kid looks like a stud. I'm not gonna lie. Great look to him. I mean, we really didn't see enough of him in the ring because Ricky really just wailed on him right off the bat. It was pretty one-sided, but for what I did see of Cole Karter, it's really hard to say because we really didn't see much from him tonight. But just for looks alone, the kid, like I said, he looks like a star. It reminds me of looking at like a young Orton or a young Cena, before before all that. That's what it reminds me of. And that's the highest compliment I think I can pay the kid. So what happens now? It's very interesting that that this kid was just recently let go from WWE for what I'm guessing was a failed piss test or something. I don't know. I think that's the word that's going around. I don't think I've heard specifically, but that's the rumor, so to speak. So the fact that a few weeks later he shows up in AEW television. Now, of course, he's not, he's not made a champ right away or nothing, but interesting. It's interesting, Are AEW gonna keep him? Are they going to shine him up and make him pretty? I don't know. It's very interesting though. So, but nonetheless, Ricky Starks does retain here. Taz, of course, still complaining that they have a championship in their company that's not really recognized by the company. Maybe one of these days, Taz. Maybe one of these days. Then, Ricky Starks, he's feeling good. He's pumped up. He's like, you know what? Let's do challenge number 2. Hell, why not? Bring it on. Challenge number 2. Who's back there? Bring him on. Danhausen comes out. Ricky Starks is like, oh, hell no. I didn't mean tonight. I meant like next week. Let's schedule it tonight for next week. So the funniest part of all this was Ricky Starks doing his own, Danhausen, imitation. That was funny. The crowd definitely popped for that. So next week, apparently part of was not Fighter Fest. What is it? Fight for the Fallen. The card is going to be stacked. It's going to be headlined by Danhausen and Ricky Starks. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But it is going to be part of Fight for Fallen for next week. All right. Tony Schiavone with FTR in the ring. Thought maybe for a brief second we were going to get the Briscoes on AEW Dynamite. Just thought for a second because I'm like, well, how else are you going to promote this if you only got one team there? See, and that's the key about this. They can put the Briscoes on a pay-per-view because it's not on their television. It's on AEW's company pay-per-view. But that's what the match is. And I'm guessing it's going to be headlining the pay-per-view. That's a guess. But it feels like it's the biggest match there besides Gresham versus Claudio Castagnoli. FTR versus Briscoes, 2 out of 3 falls for the Ring of Honor tag titles. And they had what was basically already called, tag match of the year or match of the year, depending on who you talk to. Now they're doing 2 out of 3 falls. Number 2. I don't know what's going to happen. Does this mean? And fans are going to speculate. Does this mean that they're done with Impact and they're joining AEW and maybe someone behind the scenes and in the upper offices are changing their mind about the Briscoes? I don't know. I don't know. Fans are going to think what they're going to think. For now, on paper, let's just enjoy this match for what it is. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. There's some fun matches on this show. That's what Saturday night is Death Before Dishonor. Now, what's really interesting about this is they also announced during this this airing of AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest that one of the matches, now I don't know if it's pre-show or not, but they announced the 6-man tags are going to be on the line. And I did not realize that someone from Impact Wrestling was still a champion in Ring of Honor. So Dalton Castle and the boys are going to be going after the 6-man tag titles. Now, please forgive me. I don't remember that, and someone's in the chat's gonna have to help me fill in the blank here. But it's led by Vincent. Vincent is running this stable. It has a couple of guys, and they're all former Ring of Honor guys. It's very interesting. So I'm just waiting for it to pop up here. Anna says she's going to try to go. Awesome. Critical Sting here. See, yeah, I knew Sting was going to come through. He says it's the Righteous. Vincent Tyler Bateman. Okay, Tyler Bateman and Butch. Okay, obviously not the Butch that was mentioned during one of the backstage segments earlier in the night. All right. So Ring of Honor guys. So yeah, that's very interesting. Does that just mean that they're going to drop them to Dalton Castle and the boys, just so Vincent can go back to Impact without the title or something? I don't know. It's wrestling. I don't want to overthink it, but it is interesting that Vincent is on the show. But hey, it's pretty cool. He's going to get a paycheck for the show. And no, I'm not going to be one of those. Well, is he joining AEW? Is he leaving Impact Wrestling? No. Just means he's still they're recognizing the championship, which is also interesting because I thought it was going to be one of those titles that was just going to be kind of like just disappearing into the wind, So it's still there. It's still a thing. Yes, Mark. Thank you. Yeah. Don't forget, smash that like button, smash that sub button. So yeah, it should be a good show this weekend. Samoa Joe will come back. He's facing Jay Lethal? Something like that. Women's tag match. Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan with Stokely, Hathaway, and some hip-hop dude, Jermaine Dupri or something, versus Athena and Willow Nightingale. Someone else from the Baddies couldn't make the show, so they had Chris Statlander stay backstage. What a bummer. They couldn't just get an extra baddie for the night. Be great if they had all 6 of them in there. Oh, well. Oh, Bell's Boy says it's Dutch, not Butch. Sorry. Styles. What's shaking, dude? So yeah, this is fun. I mean, and I really like Willow. She's like uber happy to be out there, super positive. It's she's a lot of fun to watch. And Athena's great to see her too. And we haven't seen her in a bit. So this was a lot of fun. Jade gets the win though. Kiera Hogan did look good out there too, I gotta say. We haven't seen her in a while. Um, barbed wire everywhere. Main event. This was a lot of fun. Eddie Kingston versus the Painmaker Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's Jericho Appreciation Society locked in a shark tank above the ring. Actually, more like above the crowd, but that's okay. Now there's a lot of moving parts in here, so we'll go over this quickly. I mean, the match was fun, very bloody, lots of these guys throwing each other into the barbed wire, a lot of blood. And Ruby Soho was mastering the the cage. She had the controls. So she, once they were all locked in there, they lifted it up and it was suspended above the people about 20 feet above them, 15, 20 feet, whatever. It wasn't like at the top of the arena, insanely up there or nothing, which is good, But yeah, the match itself between Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston was fun, back and forth. But then Ty Conti comes out to mess with Ruby Soho and get control of the cage. Of course, that would give the advantage to Chris if we can get the guys out of the cage, right? Anna Jay comes down looking like she's going to, help get Ty Conti off of Ruby Soho. Swerve. No. Anna Jay ends up turning heel and joining Ty Conti. Oh my God. Jungle Boy, talk to your woman. What is going on here? Shark. Bell's voice says shark cage. What did I say? Oh, I said shark tank. It's cage. Sorry, cage. My bad. So Anna Jay and Ty Conti end up getting the controls, bringing the shark cage down, and Ty cannot get the door open fast enough. Half the guys end up squeezing through the bars, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. It was Daniel Garcia and one half of the 2.0. I'm still not familiar with their names. I just don't see him enough or talk about him enough. I'll get it one of these years. But they're in the ring. They're beating up Eddie Kingston. Chris Jericho's recovering from whatever blood-soaked accident he just had. And then, of course, I'm just laughing at the chat here. And then, of course, Hagar gets in the ring with the other half of 2.0, beating down Eddie. And Chris Jericho gets the win. It was close towards the end there. It made you feel like Eddie Kingston was going to come back, but we're a victim of 50-50 booking in a sense. And look, I'm not bitching about the 50-50 booking. Eddie Kingston and his team got the big win at the Blood and Guts, so it would just make sense that, if this is the final thing, that Chris Jericho got the one up. The war is over, the battle's done, and Eddie Kingston got a couple wins. He actually beat Chris Jericho Didn't get that handshake, but he beat him. But not tonight. And his team beat him for blood and guts. So, hey, just better luck next time, Eddie. Better luck next time. So, I mean, overall, it was an okay show. Couple surprises, couple swerves, couple new faces. You know, like Cole Karter. You know, what's going to become of Cole Karter? Are they going to sign him? It's kind of interesting seeing him. You know. So, yeah, everybody in the chat, who booked this shit? Yeah. So, for night 2 of, or the prequel to Shark Week, whatever you want to call this, it was all fun. So, Fight for the Fallen next week. They already got, got some of the card already booked. Looks okay. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it gets better than Ricky Starks versus Danhausen. It's like, yeah, Danhausen is a great character, very funny, but so far we've seen absolutely nothing really worth of anything in the ring. Does this kid even? I suppose I gotta like take my own advice and look up Danhausen on YouTube and see if this guy actually does more than just the curse. And see if this kid actually wrestles. He's got a hell of a brand behind him. It's got to be worth something, right? Bell's Boy says, WWE is deleting titles and AEW is adding them. Good Lord. Right? Hey, it's the give and take of the wrestling universe. You know, some disappear over here and show up over here, and it's just how everything goes around, you know. So that's it for this one tonight, folks. Just want to clue you in, my God, on something real quick before we get out of here. Coming up, starting, was this tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow, July 21st through July 24th, free standard shipping on all merch orders. That link is in the description of the video. Some new designs in the merch shop, like this brand new neon themed. Wonder what show that's themed off of. Nonetheless, Smash This podcast merch, some other great new designs in the merch shop. Free shipping. Go take advantage of that. I've got my merch ordered for the Chicago Impact tapings. Going to be sporting some TNI merch, courtesy of One of the Dead. Some of that great looking artwork. So I don't know what this is in the chat. Zach saying, fins to the left, fins to the right. You're the only bone in town. I don't know what that is, but thank you. Gonna be working on some more merch. So soon, I don't know, this bone dragon thing keeps coming up. That might be a new piece of merch soon. I'm working on it, folks. Always working on the merch. So go check out. But nonetheless, even if you don't get merch, check out all the links in the description of the video. On your way out, make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks. We'll see you. Actually, we're not going to see you tomorrow night. I'm hoping some of my TNI lads can, my brothers can jump in and do the show, because I will not be around tomorrow night. I'm going to be on the road with Mrs. Bone. We got to pick up family from the airport, but I'll be discussing that more with my brethren offline. But nonetheless, hopefully we'll be able to figure something out tomorrow night or delay it for the next night or something. We'll figure something out. T and I will get a show out this week. I guarantee it. All right. Much love, folks. We'll see you soon. Take care. Be safe.